You started out as a line producer, but for RA1 with Shah Rukh, the latest, one of the latest films that you worked on in Bollywood, you were the executive producer. So how did your role shift from being a line producer to an executive producer, which is a lot more challenging, I would say?
Well, coincidentally, it was at this property where we are, at this hotel. We're shooting My Name is Khan, and Shah Rukh he called me up in his room and we were just discussing something, and he said, Prashant, I want you to shut down your phone and give me half an hour. I said, okay, fine. So he narrated RA1 to me. And he said, this is a little synopsis, the treatment I have, and I want to develop a superhero film because my kids always think that I'm doing only chocolate boy and only romantic movies. So I want to tell my kids I can also be a superhero. So I want to make this film for my kids. Forget about anybody else. So I want to do something for my children, and I want to create this different personality of who I am on screen. So the next generation, I want to give them a little wow factor. So we started talking about the project over here, and I said, let's bring a Hollywood writer, because of course India has done a superhero film like Krish and all that. Of course, Rakesh Roshan, who's also another big, huge family friend, and I worked with him also. And I said, let's put a writer from here, from Hollywood, so it can bring the superhero creative aspect, and then you put in the writer team from India that will bring the Indian element of emotion. So Anubhav Sinha, myself, Shah Rukh, we all spent in this hotel days and days trying to figure out how to work. And I said, Shah Rukh, how do you want me to work on this project with you? He said, this is your film, you decide what you want. Okay. And we have come to a part of our life, whether it's Shah Rukh or Karan and people I work with, there's no longer a financing talks. Mm-hmm. It is all about, I have to make a film, you're going to do this film, let's do it together and let's work together. And so he was the one, he said, I want you to be the EP on this project, be the executive producer, because you are taking all the decisions and you're making all the shots on this project. And this project I want to shoot in Tokyo. I remember him mentioning that he wants to shoot in Japan. Mm-hmm. And I said, Shah Rukh, I don't know about Japan because the Happy Meal at McDonald's in Japan is $9.
Yeah.
So as a producer, I feel very expensive to shoot over there. Let's shoot somewhere in Miami, or because we wanted a very modern city, camera friendly. So we started putting the team together, and I brought in the entire team from Hollywood that became the part of the movie. And of course, Anubhav Sinha, who was the director of the film, he had a huge list of people that he wanted. Like he wanted a cameraman called Uli Steiger. Uli Steiger has done films like Independence Day and big movies. So we worked with Uli, and he was going to be the original cinematographer for us. But after we shifted from Miami instead and we went to London, Uli was not happy. He was like, I didn't sign up this movie because of London, and I don't like London, so I'm not going to shoot this. So it worked out. At the end, we got a cameraman from a DP from Italy. Okay. Again, he was a big, Nicola, he was a big DP. And so we put all this team together out of LA. But that's how I came into the picture, was when Shah Rukh pretty much put the responsibility on my shoulder and said, listen, I'm going to finance the picture. I'm working on the movie, and I want you to do this as a family for me. And that's how I ended up being an EP and putting the whole show together before, I would say about 8 to 9 months before it started shooting.
From being a line producer to being an executive producer, you've embarked recently on your next journey to become a producer in Hollywood for Ben Arroyo films. What a drastic change, may I say, or how is that going?
It's part of the journey. I wouldn't say a change, it's a shift. I've produced close to 20 projects over the last 15 years in the US and Canada for Bollywood. And a time has come where I have to now merge into a different freeway or different lane on the freeway, and I decided that I would like to get involved into Hollywood projects. And Benaroya Pictures, a LA-based company, they're a young but enterprising company. They have about 7 to 8 large feature films in New York. I Love You, the last big film they made, which was an Oscar film called Margin Call.
Yes.
And myself and Mr. Benaroya have been talking back and forth on doing some co-productions or doing some projects together and working on some projects effectively together. And it just so happened that during one of the conversation, he mentioned, he said, why don't you, what we know the best is financing films and we distribution and so forth, and you know physical production, and we would like films that are produced by ourselves instead of others producing it for us. And it would be good to put the two synergy of what you have, your expertise of producing pictures, and what we have in Hollywood. If that combines, it'll be a great win situation for us.
So you've come in-house into Benaroya.
I've come into in-house with Benaroya Pictures. There's no point of me merging my company Bollywood Hollywood Production because multiple reasons, and one the most important being that the focus of Benaroya Pictures is only Hollywood.
Yeah.
And to take that ship and captain that ship and navigate into the ocean out there and sail it across to a destination that it needs to go and create that journey path. So taking that position into the company as a VP and the head of production as a producer, right now we're looking at about close to a dozen movies to be produced in next 3 years. And that
Again,
is
multitasking.
again
Projects.
multitasking, yes. So there are films I have right now, Hollywood movies that are going to be all over the world, that will be putting projects together.
So you've come in-house into Benaroya.
I've come into in-house with Benaroya Pictures. There's no point of me merging my company Bollywood Hollywood Production because multiple reasons, and one the most important being that the focus of Benaroya Pictures is only Hollywood.
Yeah.
And to take that ship and captain that ship and navigate into the ocean out there and sail it across to a destination that it needs to go and create that journey path. So taking that position into the company as a VP and the head of production as a producer, right now we're looking at about close to a dozen movies to be produced in next 3 years.
Tell me about Benaroya Films and the type of projects that you're working on. What are some of the themes that are coming about, some of the current topics?
Right now, slate of films that I'm looking into, they're primarily ranging anywhere from a $3 million picture to a $50 million picture. We have action films, thrillers, looking at classics, family dramas. So the genre of films that I'm producing, or I will be producing in Hollywood, that is on my slate now, is a mixed blend of every type of film you can imagine. Horror, there's a horror film that I'll be doing. There's a couple of romantic action films. There is a thriller. There is a superhero film that's in discussion. It's at a very initial stage. But mainly the mixed blend of Hollywood. So I don't want to just stay focused in saying, okay, we make only romantic films. I mean, we have done that for last decade, but despite of that, there's always been an element of action or thriller or superhero. Same thing over here, whereas Hollywood is very formal in genre market. If it's a superhero, it's a superhero. If it's paranormal activity, it's paranormal activity. Whether it's a horror, then it's strictly horror.
Prashant, you started out from the IT industry and you moved into the film industry, starting out with Love in Times Square, from a one-man show to having created 50,000 jobs and winning the award, being awarded the Producer of the Year award from the Department of Commerce. That is a long journey. Did you have that vision when you started out?
When I started out, my vision was only to create the bridge between Bollywood and Hollywood, and that's why I called my company Bollywood Hollywood, which was 1999, since 1999, so it's about 14 years now. So when I started that company, it was mainly to bridge between the two continents. At that time, I had no vision per se how big it will go or where I will take it to or where it will take me to. And it has been more of the company or my journey taking me as opposed to me taking the journey to where I am today. So yes, I mean, US Congress awarded me Producer of the Year award, and creating I came in this country looking for a job
Yeah.
and then creating 50,000 jobs. So yes, it has been a fantastic journey, and it would not have been possible if those who did not trust on what I was doing. So a big thanks goes to from people like Dev Saab to Karan to Shah Rukh, and including the guy who makes chai on my set, the person who makes the food on my trucks. I actually thank them for being there with us, and it is not I have been successful, we have been successful, and a journey has come to a point where it is taking a turn into the new hemisphere of my life.
Very long journey and very fruitful journey that you've had in filmmaking, and I hope that it continues and you do really well with Ben Arroyo Films and your future projects.
All I can say is people have been kind, God has been kind, and everyone I have worked has been kind to me. So it is just that their well wishes is what has brought me where I am, and I think it will continue another destination that I have to reach before we do something crazy.
Thank you for your time, Prashant.
Quite
It's
welcome.
it's wonderful talking to you about films. I know we both are buffs, you more than me probably, but it's really good to talk to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.